Students in Ontario have done an incredible job of highlighting how important it is to our economy, to our society, that people from all walks of life can continue to go to university and college. And they did a great job in the lead up to the election campaign. The students, CFS and other groups did a great job during the campaign. And the government followed through, not necessarily because they're really committed to this particular promise, but because of the political costs to the government if they break this promise.
The fact that we've been able to move in 10 years within Canadian Federation of Students from a situation where not a single province, not even Quebec, had regulated frozen tuition fees. In 10 years, we've been able to move to a situation where the vast majority of students in Canada this September will not be facing a tuition fee increase.
The more difficult stage is the stage that we're at right now, where we need to maintain the freeze and push forward for reductions in the future.
We've frozen the fees now. Now it's time for us to reduce the fees, increase the grants that are going to universities and colleges, increase the grants that students receive instead of increasing their loan limits, and reduce the fees and fund the institutions the way they're supposed to be funded.
We now have a blanket freeze, which in a sense re-regulates absolutely everything. So I think what's on the table is, what should the balance be? I don't think it's a simple yes or no to deregulation or regulation. Is deregulation on the table? It's on the table. So is regulation. Regulation's on the table. These are all issues that are being discussed. What's the balance to be struck?
I want to be very clear. The principles that have guided us with respect to this tuition freeze, affordability, accessibility, and quality, will be the same ones that guide us as we move forward with our long-term plan for post-secondary education in Ontario.
It gives people confidence. That is the major thing about the tuition fee freeze, is that, you know, regular students won it. It wasn't some outside force. It wasn't a government decision that was made out of the blue. It was people coming out on the streets, signing a petition, working in their student union, you know, working in coalitions with other people, with partners, and actually saying, we deserve this, and we were right. We do deserve it, and that's why we won it.
Don't stay there in the background. Get in there and provide your input. You influence those discussions because you're very much a part of that solution.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I have a petition addressed to the Parliament of Ontario from the Student Association of George Brown College, Local 92, the Canadian Federation of Students. It reads as follows. A few more petitions from the Canadian Federation of Students, and I know that you're interested in it as well, because this is a bona fide good petition from the students. Mr. Speaker, I keep getting petitions from the Canadian Federation of Students regarding freezing at all levels. And that's why the Canadian Federation of Students are continuing to send petitions to the Legislative Assembly of Ontario. Students find that the tuition fees have astronomically risen, and that's why the Canadian Federation of Students are keeping on sending, Mr. Speaker, because of the skyrocketing increases in education. The Canadian Federation of Students keeps sending petitions. Mr. Speaker, I have a petition here that was sent to me by the Canadian Federation of Students. And it's signed I keep getting petitions from the Canadian Federation of Students, and from the Canadian Federation of Students. This one comes from the Student Association of Federation. A few hundred students from the Canadian Federation of Students. And Mr. Speaker, I'm delighted to tell you that this government has listened to the Canadian Federation of Students and froze tuition fees already. But if I don't read this petition, I would be amiss in my duties. Therefore, I will read it.